Petr Yan has just 50-45 Davison Figueiredo in a main event. A lot of people were looking at this as a number one contender fight, and it possibly could have been. Petr Yan has shut down Davison Figueiredo. This was an absolute barn burner of a fight. Fucking love this fight. Really high level skills, action packed. I'll start from the beginning. So the first round, really kind of Petr Yan-esque, I thought. Like, didn't really throw much output. Davison Figueiredo got a beautiful trip on him and landed Yan in kind of a weird position where they had to scramble out. And they were just in weird positions for like a good 2 minutes there, but got him down. And I was a bit like, oh, fuck. Like, I saw how easily kind of Figueiredo got that trip, and I was kind of having deja vu, like, fuck me. Not another person just taking Yan down and winning. But Yan got back up to his feet, and then from there on out, he just went to work, man. He really let his hands go, which is something I thought he might not do in this fight, because he's very wary in that Song Yadong fight of the takedown. And Song Yadong is a fucking beast. Okay, he's an absolute beast. But Yan went in there and really utilised his boxing in this fight. Such high output, which is what I love to see from Petr Yan. He doesn't gas out, that's the thing. Like, this dude's cardio is fucking insane. And Figueiredo didn't gas out either. Figueiredo's an absolute dog, by the way. Like, this dude has been in fucking wars, okay? Always comes to fight. I was a little bit worried at the start when he got the takedown. I was kind of like, fuck, like, he could just absolutely bore this shit out of it, just taking Yan down. And because we really don't need another grappler, okay, in the division, especially with that fucking goblin at the top of the fucking division, Merab. He tweeted saying he was impressed by Yan. I was impressed by your performance, Petr Yan, but you know he wants to fight Sean O'Malley apparently again because he's just a fucking bomb anyway. Yan used like kicks very well in this fight as well. Figueiredo, he wasn't even doing bad. That's the thing. Like, Figueiredo was throwing output as well, but Yan was just way cleaner on the feet. Whenever he threw, he was throwing way quicker. Figueiredo did land him, and he actually dropped Yan. I think it was in the fourth. At the end of the fourth round, he dropped him. Yan did pick up a 50-45, which I thought was fair. He reversed Figueiredo in that first round to get on top, landed some ground and pound, got back to his feet, and then kind of landed a few shots. I was really terrified in this fight of just Yan. Oh, because I really felt like in the Song Yadong fight, fucking DC, I remember him saying on the commentary, oh, Merab's ruined him. Because, like, shut the fuck up, DC. But I was really kind of, like, worried of Yan having the takedown in the back of his head. And I did think he had it in the first round. I think he did have that in the first round, just like, fuck, I can't get taken down here. But I really think him getting taken down and getting back up and landing some shots and kind of feeling out Figueiredo on the ground was the difference. I think that gave him so much confidence going forward in this fight that he was able to get back to his feet, and probably Figueiredo doesn't have the level of takedown output as Merab, but no one does, to be fair. That's his best tool, is just shooting for takedowns, failing every single one of them, having no control time, but just continuously failing. He's the most successful loser with the takedowns in the UFC, which is, you know, it's quite incredible, to be honest with you. But yeah, Yan just looked unreal. Looked so good, so accurate with his strikes. I thought he did very well with the low kicks as well. He was even showing some flying shit and spinning shit. Like, this was vintage Petr Yan, which I fucking love to see, because I love Petr Yan, and I'm so happy he won this fight. It's not that I necessarily dislike Figueiredo, but I just think having that fucking rushing killer at the top of the division is really good for the division. Like, it really is. From the second to the fifth round, it was just an absolute barn burner. Both were landing. Yan was just landing more. He could have got Figueiredo out there in I believe it was the third round. Figueiredo did very well. I feel like if Yan put on the pressure, he would have probably got him out there more, but just landing such insane strikes, landing such clean boxing. Just vintage Yan tonight. I really thought he did very well. I feel like he's growing more confident with his takedown defense as well, which is essential, because Yan is fucking class takedown defense. Okay, he got in two bad scrambles against Aljamain Sterling, and then fought Merab, who just Aljamain Sterling. I mean, the two scrambles, the second fight where he got taken down, and that's the reason he lost the fight, because he just got in a bad position. It wasn't like he was held down on top. Sterling got the back, like he does with nearly all of his opponents, and just held out the round. That's why he lost that fight. We look at the first fight against Aljamain Sterling, and then the Merab fight, Merab just shoots takedowns. Yan got up off every single one of them. That's the thing. He's very good takedown defense. And I just felt like he had a question mark in the back of his head in the Song Yadong fight. And I kind of felt it in this fight, but I really felt in this fight. Once he kind of figured Figueiredo out, felt his strength, felt what he was like on the ground, I really felt like he became more comfortable with letting his hands go. And we saw in that fight what happens when Yan lets his hands go and is confident in his takedown defense. Okay? We saw in the Corey Sandhagen fight. Okay? Which could be a potential opponent within the next 2 or 3 fights. Yan has options. Okay? So before this fight, he was ranked number 3 in the world. Umar, O'Malley were the only 2 ahead of him, contenders. And then Merab at the belt, of course. I would not like to see him versus Umar next, okay? I don't really want to see that because I think Umar would beat him. Yan definitely has a chance because he's way more active on the feet than Umar, but I would be picking Umar in that fight to just get him down. A Sean O'Malley rematch really interests me, okay? I would love that fight. I think that's the fight to make, to be quite honest with you. A 5-round fight night in fucking Russia or somewhere, yeah? Somewhere big. Put that as a 5-rounder. I'm picking Yan to beat O'Malley. Okay? Because I feel like you bet him in the first fight. And I just think he's better than Sean O'Malley. I thought that was a robbery, to be honest with you. And O'Malley gassed. Gassed bad. He gassed against Merab as well. Yan doesn't gas. And you can even look in that Merab fight. He was getting up off the takedowns in the 5th round too. So I think Sean O'Malley, I think it's the fight to make. Sean O'Malley does not deserve an immediate title shot. Plus, if he beats Yan, then you could just... It's a stylistic matchup to where he's already won. So he can hang in there with Petr Yan. He's shown that before. I don't think he'll hang him in the 4th and the 5th. Because Yan's output when he's on his feet is insane. Mali gassed against Merab. That was a different kind of gas compared to the one against Yan. Yan was viciously hurting the body. He was just fucking taking him down as well. Vicious takedowns. Like, he was slamming him on that canvas sometimes, and that will wear on you. It's a different type of gassing to Merab, in my opinion anyway. So I feel like Yan versus O'Malley is really interesting. I would be picking Yan, especially given the last 2 performances. Sean's probably going to have those doubts that Yan had in the Song Yadong fight against like the takedowns and stuff like that. I think Sean might have that with his cardio. He might be in the back of his head being like, fuck, like, I went 5 rounds there with Merab and gassed. He did go 5 rounds against Chito, but that was kind of that was his game. Chito Vera is a gifted opponent for Sean O'Malley. Gifted. Perfect stylistic matchup to win that fight. We saw what Figueiredo did to Chito, you know? Speaking of Figueiredo, I think him versus Corey Sandhagen makes sense, okay? I think him versus Corey Sandhagen. I said this, I can't remember when, or maybe I just said this to someone I know, but I think the fact Corey Sandhagen was number 2 in the world, I think, or top 5, anyway, top 4, coming on a 3-fight win streak of Rob Font, or it was Chito, Rob Font, Song Yadong, and then fought Umar. I think you need to be rewarded for that, fighting Umar, even though he lost. That was a competitive-ass fight. I think if you could have sat out and had a title shot, which you could have, I think you need to be rewarded for fucking taking on these up-and-comers like Umar. Now, Umar's 2nd in the world and is probably going to get a title shot. Do you know, Corey could have been like, fuck you, Umar. I'm getting my belt. I want my title shot that I've deserved and earned. Which he did. Like, he could have sat there and said, no, I'm fighting for the belt next. That's it. And instead, he took Umar. And I think he should be rewarded for that. I think him versus Figueiredo, at the moment, it's 4 versus 5. Figueiredo's probably going to drop on the rankings. And then, you know, you have people like Chito, Cejudo, Song Yadong, Rob Font below him, and then Mario Batista, who no one wants to see anyone fight in the top 5. They're kind of below the Yans, Figueiredos, and the Corey Sandhagens. So match them up against each other. You know, I think they're 2 great fights. O'Malley Yan 5-rounder, Corey versus Figueiredo 5-rounder. You know, banging fights. And I feel like though they're 2 fights that probably will happen next. You know, They're all coming, apart from Yan, Sean, Corey, Figueiredo coming off losses. And seeing as Yan's the only one who's on a win and has a very controversial kind of fight with the number 1 contender, that is Sean O'Malley, I think that fight makes sense. And Yan beat Song Yadong in his last fight too. So I think Yan O'Malley, you know, even if you want to do it as a number 1 contender fight, because they're probably going to not rush Sean, but like, they're not going to make Sean go on a Corey streak of Chito, Rob Font, and Song Yadong, and then fight Umar. That's not going to happen. Okay, they're going to give him 1 fight And if Sean wins, especially if he finishes Yan, right back in the mix, right back in there for a belt. So they're the fights I want to see. That was kind of the thoughts on the main event. Fucking cracking fight. Absolute banger. The card was actually pretty decent. You know, I saw one of the most vicious KOs ever on their prelims. So banging card. Carlos Solberg getting a win as well. He looks good. Great card, man. Great card. And I'm fucking buzzing Jan's back in the mix. They're the fights I want to see. Those are my thoughts on the main event. Let me know what you thought about this card in the main event below. Thanks for watching.